Pull up.
Coming to you live from our studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is the A1 Trading Daily Show. Whether markets are rising or falling, we're here to keep you up to date with the latest market news. Join us as we trade currencies, commodities, and indices live. Monday through Friday. Coming to you live from our studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is the
What's up, everybody? Sorry for the confusion with the intro. What's up, and welcome back to another live stream. It's a hot day in the markets. I'm sure you guys already know this. As we approach one of the bigger events of the year, of the month, NFP, which comes each Friday. The first Friday of each month is, of course, NFP day, which is essentially just a news announcement where they announce the latest jobs numbers here in the United States. And the U.S. is, of course, a super powerhouse economy of the world. And so where their jobs are looking and how strong or weak their jobs are looking is, of course, going to have a big impact on the entire market. And I'm not just talking the stock market. I'm not just talking the dollar. I'm talking about all currency pairs, all bonds, all assets like gold and oil and stocks. Nobody can hide from NFP and the economic strength of the United States right now, as it is, of course, an important indicator of global health as well. We have a lot of things to cover, and we've got not a ton of time. We've got 15 minutes here before the actual NFP release begins. I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button, and away we go. We are jumping right in. For starters here with the dollar, let's get a quick look at what's going on with the US dollar prior to the event. And you can see on the 4-hour chart, we've had a key break. In fact, not just a key break, but a very impressive rally here for the dollar, one that we have not seen the likes of in a while. There has not been such a strong US dollar move in near times recently. I mean, the strong moves have been to the downside. So seeing this breakout to the upside here today brings into question, is it time to be looking to go long the dollar? And from a technical analysis perspective, I would say this is a pretty good start, right? You've got the dollar shooting past levels of resistance. And when we look left, again, resistance, 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 resistance. Like sellers were very, very strong here. So this is an impressive rally from the bulls to get above and, more importantly, stay above the previous highs. So going into an event like this today, the question is, of course, is the dollar a buy beforehand? And in my personal opinion, I'll give you guys my thoughts on this before. We had ADP numbers come out. They looked good for NFP forecasts, right? It doesn't certainly guarantee that the dollar or that the numbers will be perfect. But I want you to understand that when the dollar rallies like this prior to the news, it does not guarantee that it can just keep going higher, right? It could actually pull back on the release. Sometimes you get the buy the rumor, sell the news effect. So I'm not jumping to any sort of conclusions prior to the actual number release. We will be watching the release together here, and I'll show you some profit and loss. I know you guys love to watch that as we get into the actual release together here. So I'll show you I'll talk about my trade in just a moment. Now, dollar, as it pulls back to me, if it does pull back here today on the release of NFP numbers, right? If we get some non-farm employment NFP numbers that are less favorable, it could cause the dollar to pull back. And despite that pullback, the dollar still would look, in my opinion, pretty strong. So I'd be cautious to look to get too overly short bias if we do see a dip. The 104.73 level looks pretty strong. Again, that past resistance could come back into play. So for my dollar bulls out there, that's where I would say things actually start to get interesting. Up in these areas, not looking to short, not looking to buy. There's not a whole lot of action on the actual US dollar index up in this area. But of course, we don't usually trade DXY. We usually trade crosses. And we could take a look at something like EURUSD, which, guys, my goodness, our idea on euro dollar played out picture perfectly. Though I have to be transparent, I did not catch this trade. And I'm sitting there, I'm kicking myself because this would have been a beautiful trade. Look at the 61.8. So we drew our from the highs to the lows here, got our 61.8% retracement off of the hourly chart. This was an hourly setup and just absolutely smacked it and could not get past it. Sellers held the line and basically pushed this thing, rolled it back over. And in fact, now even in the New York session, we've broken through the lows and taken out the lows pretty decisively. So an impressive move here for the euro dollar to the downside, with the dollar showing its teeth, getting strong again. And you know, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know dollar bull moves can be pretty crazy. So is that the start here today? Well, we're gonna have to watch to see what the numbers actually come out to be. For those of you who are euro dollar bears, if you're looking to be on the potentially on the short side here, let's go ahead and update our thought process on this. Well, we've got a big break underneath another key level of support. We marked this 1.053 level as support, and now we have to acknowledge for what it is. It broke through that level of support, and so a possible pullback could actually be another sell side opportunity on the euro dollar. It's pretty close to a 38.2% retracement level. And so looking at Euro USD, a pullback into that level, if we do get a spike to the upside for euro dollar, I'd be very cautious on the bullish side, because again, if we do get the spike, right, sure, we might get the spike, but that could just drive right into a key level of resistance right before we see the continuation of this trend. Now, of course, that's not a guarantee. With trading, if you are looking for certainties and guarantees and, oh, I know what the market's going to do next, you are not yet profitable. That is just not how it works, right? We know, profitable traders know, this is a game of probabilities, not a game of certainties. And I say that often on my stream for a reason. It is very, very important that new traders hear it, right? New professional traders don't know what the market's going to do all the time. Professional traders react to what the market's doing. They risk small and they trade based on probabilities. If you knew there was like a 60% chance of the euro going lower at this level, would you take that trade? Yes. Would you risk your whole account on it? No, because there's still that 40% chance that you're completely wrong. This is profitable trading, is risking small, even when you know there's a good solid chance that the continuation could occur. So that would be my thought process. Let me know, do you guys agree with me on Euro USD, the dollar here? Again, decisive move up could drive the euro dollar to the downside. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Type in the chat yes, or if you agree, if you disagree, type no. And again, we've got about 8 minutes here, you guys. Before the actual release happens, we're going to be watching the numbers and the spike together live. I'll show you guys. Well, actually, I'll show you my S&P trade in just a moment. Let's move on to the pound. We'll take a look at the pound, and then we'll look at gold here prior to the release. So don't go anywhere, and we'll see what happens. So pound USD, similar story. Look at this. We took out the lows yet again, and this sell side is crisp. That is a nice sell side move there. And for the day traders out there, you know, you can zoom in on this one and you can kind of see where we're at. If you are looking at this thing from like a 15-minute chart, you can see we topped out here. We stalled in this area right around 1.1930 and then rolled over, took out the lows, and we're seeing a bit of a consolidation move prior to the numbers coming out. So pound USD, still bearish for me. We've been bearish on this one for a little while off the edge finder. I believe that this one also has a, let's double check that we have a sell bias on pound USD. I know we did yesterday. Let's see if it's still on. Yep. Look at this. Sell on Euro USD and pound USD. Wow. Guys, we've got a sell potential signal on the Euro USD. What is that all about? This wasn't here yesterday. So we got some new ideas here today. And I am suddenly incredibly interested in potentially shorting the euro. The fact that this is on our watch list here this morning is news to me. I hadn't checked it yet. And that's huge. Looks like we might be shorting the euro, guys. I will. You guys do what you want. By the way, if you don't have the Edge Finder, try it out. We do have a free trial available. This is our software tool. Some of you guys may have seen it before, but if you haven't, it's basically just a market scanner. It pulls in a ton of data for traders on the fundamental and sentiment analysis. You can see what smart money traders are doing. You can see what retail traders are doing on average. It's a great tool if you're not already using it. Check it out. We just dropped a free trial link in the chat. And if you want to just grab access to it, you can use the promo code that is in the description to get access for 20% off right now, if that's something you're interested in. So, wow, the euro is actually on the watch list here today. What that tells me is that if the Euro USD pulls back into resistance, not only does it look technically good, but the Edge Finder actually gives me confirmation. So I will be looking for some shorts on the euro. Absolutely love to see that. The euro rolling over here and the dollar coming in strong. Wow, this is exciting. This is really, really exciting. So I've been wanting to short the euro, but the Edge Finder has not given me the green light yet, or in this case, the red light. And so the red light, which is telling me, you know, sell bias, is basically taking all these different factors in and jumping that in. So Euro USD, looking on the sell side, looked actually really attractive. And I will potentially, if this thing shoots to the upside here today, I'll be looking to possibly get short Euro USD around that 38.2%. Watch it. If we jump up into that area, hold me accountable. I will be looking to short that. That is a cookie cutter setup for me on the euro dollar. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, if we roll over, then I missed the trade and I'll be sad and cry. But that's okay because, hey, you know what? I can always wake up and do it again the next day. As traders, the cool thing is the markets aren't going anywhere. We can get to do this every day. So I want to take a look at gold. I promised I would. So let's pull up gold here. And guys, we've got 4 minutes here before the numbers are going to come out. I want to just alert you guys. Many traders, what they do on NFP, they buy stop and they sell stop price. Please, please be careful with that. If you do that, you are subjecting yourself to massive spread and potentially blowing accounts. If the market does something like this, if you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to put buy stops and sell stops on gold, right? And you think you're crafty. You're like, okay, I'm going to sell here or buy here. And you're like, it doesn't matter because if it spikes either way, I'm going to make money, right? This is a thought process that many traders think they're smart. They think they're quick with it. What happens, and it may not happen every time, when you get decisive moves, it's great. But sometimes in NFP, you get something like this, all in like one candle. And if this happens, guess what? You get triggered on both sides of a trade and you get stopped out on both trades, and it can be a ginormous spread-filled loss. So please be very careful with buy stops, sell stops. Everybody thinks they're smart doing it until they get blown. So be very, very careful. Gold, I'm long. So I'll give you guys the transparency here. I'm also long on gold with a very small size. I like the technicals. I like the chart setup here for gold continuations. I already am long around the 50% retracement level. If this gets taken out, if we take out the lows, guys, I will be out of my trade. For those of you who are in the VIP group, I shared that trade signal yesterday and I'm still in it. So let's pull this up, show you guys that I'm not making it up. So give me 1 second. Pull next trades up. I went long gold yesterday at 1833. Stops below market structure here at the 61.8. If that gets taken out today, guys, we're going to be out of the trade for a small loss. And those of you who are in the VIP group, that's my plan. I do plan on holding it into the news. It's a very small size on this account. So take that carefully. I'm not gambling into the NFP event. I took this trade yesterday off a technical level. It's held pretty well so far. And so we are going to watch to see really if the gold market rally windows at once so that we can watch the spike here together. So give me just a moment. We'll go 15-minute chart. Gold is going to be in to get the pound and the euro. And we're going to look at the 15-minute chart on all of these. Give me 1 second as I go to my color theme here. So it's here. It should be an eventful event here with the NFP numbers coming out momentarily. Let me pull up my trade for you guys here. So I'm going to go and we'll pull up. So this is my gold trade, which is really tiny. Let's actually pull up the more interesting one. So I'll pull up SPY. And so this is my S&P 500 trade. We're floating $400 before the event. 1 minute to go here. So let me go ahead and get my profit and loss on the screen so that we can watch this together. Give me just a second. We're going to detach this from the screen. And I'm going to be able to put it on this screen on the S&P 500 trade that I've got open. So I promised you guys are here. Thank you for being here, by the way. I'm glad that you're tuning in. So what we've got 500 trade is right here. Again, please trade carefully. Do not make a bunch of dumb mistakes going into this. Look at that gold making a bit of a move here pre-release. And whatever the numbers are, it is what it is. And we'll make some adjustments from there. So let's see what we get here. In 10 seconds, we'll be having the numbers. By the way, comment the numbers if you have them in the chat as soon as you have them. Help us out on the community here on YouTube. I would appreciate it a lot. All right, so are we going to get stopped out? Are we going higher? Okay, good start there. S&P 500 up 1,300. Wow, look at that. Gold taking out the highs. Beautiful. $1,100 on the S&P 500 trade. But this is the first move, guys. Just remember that oftentimes with spikes, you get, of course, I would love it to continue as I am long on both gold and the S&P 500 here today. But if it doesn't, it's sort of the news spike itself. It can go all over the place. And again, lots of people, great, but they're basically in a gamble and then they're going to be sitting in an uncomfortable spot. So floating about $1,000 on the S&P. I will take that for a start to the day. Let's see if there's any follow through. And again, the pound is going up. The euro Again, very spready right now, so I'm not going to execute like right on the candle, but I will potentially look to take that euro trade that I mentioned if we can get a spike up into it. Give me a second here, guys. We're going to take a look at what the euro non-farm so big reaction S&P and gold also, but gold giving it back right away, guys. Gold completely erasing that number down to 1838 as we speak. For the editors, we're gonna have to clip that little stream. That was fun. Little punch, like there's no reaction to the news. We'll see what we can do. Find some stuff. So here's that gold move. Popped above and again did not get much follow through. Here's our euro USD concept that we talked about. Came up into our level, instantly rejected it, though did not quite get up into that 1.054 level. So yeah, and let's actually take a look at the numbers together on the screen just so everybody can calm here. And what we've got is, let's go through the numbers. So first, we'll just do real quick on CAD unemployment numbers came out better than expected in both areas. We had more jobs created in Canada, and they had more or less unemployment, which is great for my Canadian friends out there. Very nice. If we take a look at the US dollar, we had average hourly earnings come in at 0.3% as opposed to the 0.4%. Non-farm employment change came in at 223,000 jobs, which is better than the 200K forecasted. Take a look at 3.5% versus that 3.7%. So an interesting start there for the day. So S&P 500, we'll go back to this one. And again, saw that big spike to the upside there, but a bit of a fizzled reaction here post commentary to the actual release. What a spike though. Guys, we've got 1,267 people in here. Let me just invite you, if you're new to the streams, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. We do this for many major news events, and we would love for you to come back and hang out with us again. If you're not already in the Discord, by the way, let me make sure I offer that. If you're not already in our free Discord channel, we do have a free Discord available. We're going to link that in the chat. You guys just fill out that form and you'll be welcomed into the Discord community. Within the Discord community, we have a bunch of stuff for free and for the VIP members. VIP members can see the trade signals from myself, Frank, and Ivan, my team here at A1 Trading. But if you want to just get the free one, you get trade ideas sent to you each day, or some market analysis and stuff like that, as well as some free downloadable PDFs that might help you in your trading. Now we'll pivot and we'll take some news from James in just a moment. Once he is ready, he can bring himself in here and we can chat just a little bit about the post commentary. Hey, James, how's it going?
Hey, good. What is going on, everybody? So yeah, that NFP spike just happened. A couple articles right here. CNBC talking about just before the event. We have Patty Dom right here talking about it. And this key point right here, economists survey rolls in December slower than the 263,000 jobs added in November. So last month, December, slower than the previous month, November, but still. And then if we take a look at Forex Factory, this was a huge indicator of what was going to happen yesterday. Thursday, farm employment change right here came out a lot better than expected at 235,000 jobs over the expected 152,000. And we also had unemployment claims come in, not significantly lower, but still fairly lower than what was expected. Expected 230,000 unemployment is pretty. It's not totally shocking. I expected that if it did not remain unchanged, if it did not remain at 3.7%, we might see it drop to 3.6%, but 3.5% is a big jump. That's something, that's pretty impressive numbers right there. If we take a look at the market heat map, I'm going to refresh this really quickly just to make sure that we've got up-to-date data with two people live streaming at the moment.
As you jump into the market heat map, I want to add one thing to what you said there. So guys, we got jobs numbers that came out better than expected. So the question's got to be, for a lot of people, why'd the dollar come down? Right? A bit confusing there. Well, it's sort of one of those things. James had mentioned that with the ADP numbers on Thursday, we had a huge expectation, and even more so than previously. So the ADP forecast to what NFP could actually come out to be. And so we had massive expectations and sort of off-put release. We saw the dollar give back some of those gains. And again, as we mentioned prior to this event, and James is going to show us here on the thing in just a second, a big thing here for us is that we saw the dollar running into this very, very hot. It's one of those things. It was like a buy the rumor, sell the news sort of event, it seems like. So, James, what do we got on the market heat map?
So yeah, taking a look at the market heat map, we have our major pairs right here. These are our major US pairs, and we have USD CHF, USD CAD, and USD JPY all up pretty significantly. USD CHF up 0.44% so far, USD CAD 0.67%, and USD JPY, our biggest mover to the upside so far today, up 0.8%. Whereas GBPUSD, Aussie USD, NZD USD, and Euro NZD are selling off on the day so far. Euro USD down 2.24%, NZD USD down almost 0.3% there. Same with Aussie US, and lastly GBP USD down 0.35% on the day. So indices are all down at the moment. We have the Nasdaq down almost 1.5%, S&P 500 down 1.16%, and 1%. And if we take a look at all of our assets right here, let's take a look at gold and oil, if we can find them really quickly. USO, here's no change really for gold right here. I'm sure that it probably sold off
Spike to the upside there, and then so gold is actually making a little, of course, with a big spike like this, it's going to be a bit delayed. Now currently up about 0.35% on the day, as you can see. As you can see over here. And yeah, so James, an interesting little thing, I'm sure, just covering the news. James does a lot of our news coverage. A loaded week for sure with coming into the NFP event, the ADP numbers coming out and causing a spike. Again, looking at that dollar, you can see now the dollar showing some resilience here, bouncing back up after the initial spike to the downside. So we'll have to check in with that heat map again and in 15 more minutes and see what's happened since the initial spike. So crazy to watch. And same thing with the S&P 500, shot to the upside, pulled back. Gold doing similar, like I said, shot to the upside, made a tag up to 1843. And just this is what I'm talking about, you guys, with the actual spike of NFP. You're going to get markets pricing this stuff in. It's going to take them some time. And that's why you're going to see these erratic spikes, to the upside, the downside. They're essentially, everybody is trying to sort of look at all the stuff and say, okay, well, what does this mean? What is this going to forecast going next? So James, thank you for the commentary, for the numbers. We'll let you go, and appreciate you tuning in. Everybody in the chat say thank you, James. And again, big shout out to James. He's been doing a great job on the news coverage. If you don't already follow us on our second channel, we have a dedicated channel where we do just news all the time, A1 Trading on YouTube. So yeah, big thank you to James for coming in and sharing some insights with us there. So yeah, continuing to commentary on this, you've got gold. Look at this, guys. And this is going to be big. Let's look at the hourly chart together. Gold. So I'm in my long trade on gold. In fact, let me see if I can get this back on the screen so I can show you guys. Give me 1 second. Positions, filter, position settings. Simplified, selected security. Okay. So I'm just pulling up my gold position, see what's going on. Sorry, it's being slow. So gold, if I take a look here, so gold, again, spiking to the upside, nice move. From my initial entry, we're still in profit, which is great. So we'll see if we can keep on holding on to that. But let's go to GLD here on my portfolio here, and I'll show you where I'm at with this. So gold up $40. I mean, I told you this, guys, this was a tiny trade here, but in the pre-market, making its move. In fact, I need to show the extended hours. This is the slight difference when working with with stock market stuff to try and trade gold. It's the same thing, but just different platforms. And you can see there's the spike on the initial spike or on the initial release. We spiked up, pulled back, and now recovering a little bit of that move. So a tiny little profit there. The other big one is, of course, SPY coming in here now up $876, of course, at one point floating up into the $1,400 profit range. But again, this is more of a swing trade, so I'm not looking to just close it out on the spike. But wow, what an impressive little run there for gold. Now up 0.6% on the day. And you've got SPX 500, Again, what I mentioned for the gold bulls out there, guys, if you're watching gold on a lower time frame, if you're looking at the 15-minute chart, this is going to be huge to watch this candle to see if we can actually close above resistance. And look at this, driving higher up, back above the highs. Look, there we go, 1844 getting tagged. We got a print on 1844 here for gold bulls. You know, I'm already in the trade, but if you're looking at the trade, another thing to pay attention to would be, you know, the intraday pullbacks, the intraday ideas. 38.2, 50% retracement could be sort of that backup retest area for possible continuation plays. If I take any additional trades, you guys will see them in the signals group. If you're not already in the signals group, we do have an availability for that. Look at that, driving past the highs. 1845 gets printed on the gold market. We tagged 1846 even. Nice little push to the upside there. Very impressive. And again, if you're not already in the group, we are driving higher on that signal for gold. Looking great. 1833 is still intact, and stop loss has not been moved. I will be updating my stop loss for members here probably today if we can continue to stay strong. And again, access to the Discord channel. If you want this, if you want to join in on the action, link is in the description. Use the promo code that is there in the description. You can get access to the signals for 20% off right now. And if you want to just check out our free one, it is also linked in the chat as well. But again, I encourage you, come join us. It's been an action-packed, and look at this, you guys, driving higher, breaking through the highs, 1847 print, and beautiful. We are running hot now. I've got gold in 2 different accounts, so this is a great spot to be in. Look at that, 1848. Can we get 1850 is the question. 1850, a bit of a ways away here, 15-minute chart. There it comes, 1850, almost in here. Wow, what a run. What a run. Beautiful gold move there for us today. Just shy of 1850, probably a good shot. We tagged that as a psychological level. But look at that. I mean, grand scheme of things, you've still got some recovery, I think. From my swing trading perspective, I bought it back in here, so we're looking real good. Continuing to hold that signal long. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Other one is SPX 500. Any move there? SPX 500 trying to rally. Look at this. I got the double whammy today. We're long S&P and gold at the same time. Good spot to be in. We'll see if we can hold. What happened to your gold trade? I'm still in it. Have not made any adjustments inside of the signals group. But if it does make some adjustments further higher, then we will continue to trail stops on this one. Again, stop loss for me is still 1822, but I would like to go ahead and move that up as soon as I possibly can. I'll probably do that after stream, just do some adjustments and do a write-up for members on the post commentary of NFP. Really nice. Really, really nice there. And that's fantastic. Not a bad Friday, I will say. Now, of course, if you didn't make money today, if you're like, gosh, I'm on the wrong side of this today, I understand. I've been there many, many times, right? So you see good trades running. It's very, very easy to get like frustrated with yourself. Euro USD, are we going to get that set up? Let me stop talking here. And let's watch Euro USD again, 38.2, a level of resistance for me that I would be interested in picking up a short. I mentioned this. Members, if I take a trade alert will be shared inside of Nick's trades, inside of the Discord, like I said. And again, we talked about this from the Edge Finder perspective. Want that sell. The sell bias is there. Seasonality, retail sentiment, GDP numbers, inflation, unemployment, interest rates all line up for a possible short on Euro USD. It's just about getting that timing right. So I will keep watching USD to see if we can get the trade in there today. That would put us at a total of 3 positions open right now, but currently only at 2. Watching for it. If we drive higher on this euro dollar play, may be an interesting spot to be at with possible short setups. Yep. And again, if you're not already in the free one, grab the free Discord at the very least. Link is in the chat right now. I don't have any money to trade. It's a tough spot to be in. I mean, trading is sadly not really designed for people who don't have. It sounds so like it's just the truth. Trading is not really designed for people who are not, they don't have any money. Trading is for people who have money to invest it and to grow it, right? That's why many traders go the prop firm route, because they don't have a ton of capital themselves. They just want to get funded. And I think that is a reasonable approach if you can find a legitimate prop firm that you think is worthwhile. So yeah, let's expect that. So we're at Euro USD. What about Pound USD? Pound USD rallying. So I do like Pound USD on the short side, but like I said, I'm being patient because I actually want Euro USD short more so than Pound. But for those of you who are watching Pound, remember we talked about this on the 1 hour. Let's go back to the 1 hour chart and make sure we size this one up. For Pound bulls, be very careful. We're tapping into major resistance. For Pound bears, something to consider is this move here, right? That 38.2, it's just a ways away. We're pretty close. That is what, 20 pips away? Let's see, 20 pips away, 20 pips away from a potential setup there, probably similar to the euro dollar. If this one pops though, probably so will the euro, in which case I'd prefer the euro short, like I said. Which prop firm do you recommend? Stay tuned on that. I haven't partnered with one, but I'm looking. I'm interested in potentially partnering with a broker. I'm sorry, not a broker, with a prop firm in the future. But I'm doing my homework before I announce that, just because I don't like to push anything that I don't truly, genuinely stand behind. Not all prop firms are bad, but there's a lot of them out there that are shady and almost predatory. So be very careful with prop firms. Like I said, I'll be doing some research. And I will at some point announce a partnership with some prop firm that I feel is actually reasonable. So we'll have to do a rain check on that one. But yeah, look at this, guys. I mean, we are still seeing, let's look at gold. I bet you gold is still staying strong. And look at that, guys. We got the 1850 print, just like we talked about, ran all that way to 1850. Profit is on the table. It's a good spot to be in today. And here's my little baby account, S&P 500 trade in profit. Very nice. And probably that little baby gold trade as well. Look at that. Beautiful. So not bad at all on the tracking account. I do a lot of my tracking in MT4 just because it can integrate with my FX book really easily. But the majority of my actual size is on the stock market for the gold and S&P, and my broker Oanda, as you can see down here, for currencies. By the way, if you're looking for new brokers, the ones that I personally use and recommend are down below in the description. If you want access to be able to trade directly on TradingView, both of those brokers have that capability or in the process of making it possible. I think 8cap has paused, but they're bringing it back. At least that's the latest news that I've heard. Both of those links are down below in the description if you want to use brokerages that I personally use. So, yeah. Very, very crazy results today, crazy spikes, and what a show today. Hey, you guys might get what you want here. I think I see Chandler making a move into the studio background. You guys might be able to get to say hello. There he is, the man himself.
Hello, everybody. I'm just here to let you know we've probably had a good rotation of people coming and going at this point. We have a special guest coming on in 10 minutes. So we got Gareth Soloway coming on. So if you know of Gareth Soloway, watches YouTube, he's coming onto the show. I just got an email from him. He's on the way. So
Good news.
And we got a lot of people in here. Like the stream. You better click that like.
Yeah. Thank you, Chandler. Guys, you heard Chandler. You do not, trust me, you do not want to make Chandler mad. He is a menace when he's mad. I'm kidding. He's actually like the nicest guy ever. But don't let him down. You heard the man. He asked for a stream like. Can we spam the like button? How many likes can we get in like 30 seconds? It's a fun experiment. Hit the like button like you just saw on the screen. Help us out. Help Chandler out. Chandler is he's the producer behind the scenes. It would probably light up his morning if you guys could just hit that like button with a vengeance. Like Graham Stephan says, he's like, smack it, hit it. Chandler loves the doc. You guys know the doc. If you any gamers in the house, Dr. Disrespect. He's got apparently like an outro. I think I've seen it once. He's like, hit the like button, hit it, or something like that. No, it's his channel memberships. I got that wrong, but still, hit the like button, help us out. He's like the home run for the markets. Is euro dollar making its move, guys? We are close, right? Yes, we are. Look at this. Okay. We might have to take a trade here. So euro dollar coming up into resistance here. And I've got to stay true to it. So euro dollar is going to be a trade. Let me do this here. So this is going to be our third trade inside of the group real quick. Euro USD. Look at this. All right. We've got to do this lightning speed. We've got Gareth coming on in 8 minutes. Trade alerts go out inside of our private Discord channel. If you're not already inside of the private Discord, join us. It has been a wild start to the year. Come join the action if you haven't already. It's not too late. Get involved. 2023 is going to be our year. We are super excited about it. hit the thumbs up button on the stream and join us in the Discord, either the free or the VIP, where you actually get the signals alerted to you. So I'm actually going to go short here Euro USD on camera today. So I'm going to go ahead and get short. So give me just a second as I prep this. So I want to put a 30 pip stop loss on this one. So 30 pips on the short side. I'm going to go for a $800 risk. And this might be the fastest $800 you guys ever see somebody lose. We'll see. But again, hitting that level. So I'm going to go ahead and take that trade, 30 pips. That's 2.66 lots. And we're in the short. And then let me mirror that trade in the tracker account. Give me just a second here. We're going to go short Euro USD with a 30 pip stop loss. Let me give that alert to members. Give me just a moment. Bear with me as I do this. All right. We're going to open up the Discord channel, throw my stuff in here, and let me take a screenshot of all the fun action, guys. We are, like I said, shorting Euro USD. Any updates that I make to this trade will go straight to members within the Discord channel, and you'll see them there. So give me just a second as screenshot 1 is complete. Screenshot 2 is going to be, of course, of the Edge Finder, where we're getting that confirmation for possible bearishness here today on the Euro USD. As it taps into resistance, I'm interested. So going to go ahead and do this, and then I'm going to write this out with you guys here on camera. Look at that. Look at that SPY making its move. Oh my goodness, guys, we're up 1,400 now on that. Beautiful move here this morning. Let's see. Let me get everything pulled up so I can see the stream. So writing this out really quick. Beautiful confirmation of technical setup and Edge Finder bias today on EU. Selling at the 38.2% retracement. Stops above by 30 pips. Structure. I'm going to go ahead and get that out. Members, you guys will see that inside of the chat. There is the full breakdown on the trade. And of course, yes, I'm showing this on live stream to people who are not members, but any updates will only go to members. So if I trail stops, if I take profits, if I make adjustments to this play, which is the more important stuff, everyone wants to talk about the entry. Of course, the entry is important, but this stuff, the follow-up, the trailing stops, the management of a trade is far more important, in my opinion. So yeah, we're long on the S&P, we're long on gold, and we are short Euro USD, as we said we would be. So let's see if we can make some money off this move. 38.2. If it closes, if it closes underneath the 38.2, that would be icing on the cake. But we've got just a few more minutes before our show guest comes on, Gareth Soloway. He is awesome, and I'm really excited to chat with him again. Gareth Soloway, professional stock trader and futures trader and everything trader for a number of years. I've followed him for most of the last decade. So I'm excited to have him on. He's come on once before, so it's going to be running it back with Gareth Soloway. He is he's a guy my dad and I both have followed for a number of years, and I'm excited for you guys to hang out and see it. So we're up $42 on this little trade. We'll see if we can make some money. Back to the S&P 500, which is driving higher here for us today. S&P 500, look at this. We've got the move up $1,300 here in the pre-market to the New York session as we get started. Love it. Very, very nice move today for our SPY trade, the S&P 500. And of course, gold also making that move. I mean, this is a cash out day for sure when it comes to some of the trades that I've been in. This is fantastic. So an exciting day to say the least. If you're not in the Discord, like I said, this is the time it's alive in there. So come join us, come get a part of the action. And if you're out there and you don't have plans, if you don't have strategies, if you don't have, if you're just struggling in your trading, I'm telling you, it is worth the investment. If you're just out there losing money, this is what I always say. If you're just losing money in the markets, don't keep doing what you're doing and just losing money. Take a small investment, join a service, whether it be mine or somebody else that you know is realistic, legit, and they're not just trying to sell you nonsense. Somebody who's really doing it, really showing you real stuff. I mean, I show you guys live accounts all the time, and there are other people who do that as well. Follow somebody who's doing what you want to do. It's kind of like if you want to learn how to start a business, right? Don't try and learn it from somebody who's never started a business. That's the worst mistake you could make, would be trusting people who don't actually do or follow up with what they claim. They just talk in theory, right? You guys see it on the live streams. We are doing this stuff live, on camera, real trades, real accounts, no fudging the numbers, just the real stuff. And I encourage you guys, if you are just out there losing money, if this was a bad day for you, if you are struggling to figure this stuff out, join the action inside of our Discord. It is, in my opinion, I am biased, of course, it's probably the best place on the forex community right now to learn this stuff, to get it right. We're not going to do it all for you. It's not a cheat code, but it is a huge step in the right direction. Just to join us, get involved in the educational material, join the coaching webinars, get in there and soak up all the value. And if you're not, like I said, take advantage of the 20% off sale that we're doing right now. Use the code that's in the description. Use that code, plug it into your checkout, and you get 20% off. I'm telling you, it is the new year. Correct things. Get in the right direction with your trading. I'm telling you, it is the place to be. And I genuinely say that when I sell our products, when I sell what we offer, I mean every bit of it. There is genuine value available that I wish that I had when I first got started trading. Yeah. Just subscribe and you'll join the Discord. Rav, I hope to see you in there, man. I'm excited to meet some more of you guys as we start the new year. Had a couple people already start to join us. The community is growing. It is fantastic. I've got this euro-dollar short. We'll see how this one plays out. And in just a few minutes, we should have Gareth coming on. He's let us know he's coming on. I bought the Gold VIP and Edge Finder at one trade. Got all the money back. Hey, congrats, Burke. I'm glad to hear that you're getting plenty of value out of it. You know, I don't want to sort of make it sound like it's this money printing service. Like I'm not going to do your homework for you. You got to do your homework. But it's like a tutoring service, right? You're going to get held accountable. You're going to be chatting with other traders who are serious about this stuff. You're going to be learning from people who are genuinely profitable and experienced in this stuff. So yeah. So yeah, we're watching the trade on Euro USD. Hasn't moved too much. Gold and S&P 500 are in huge profits here today, which is fantastic. SPX 500 continued to drive higher. New hourly candle just ran in. So let's look at the closes here. Good time to go look and see. And gold, like I said, closed decisively above that 1840 resistance point. That's a bullish signal for gold if I've seen one. So nice start to the day. We'll see if we can get some follow through. And like I said, if things pull back, there might be some opportunities there. But for the most part, still looking very strong for us here. And I believe we've had our guest arrive here, so we'll bring him in whenever he's ready. Mr. Gareth, are you good to go? Welcome.
Yeah, I'm good to go. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to have you back, man. It's been I guess like a year since we've been on camera together.
Yeah, far too long, buddy. Far too long.
Yeah. So Gareth, I don't want to waste any time, and I'm sure lots of people would love to hear from you. I'll just give a quick introduction. Gareth Soloway from InTheMoneyStocks.com. I mentioned earlier in my stream, I've watched you for the better half of a decade. Since I was in high school, I was watching Gareth and Nick do their thing.
Old? Jeez.
Well, you know, I told you this last time, but my dad's been a fan of you for longer, like 15 years, and he's been in your service for like forever. So I'm flattered to have you on, and he's probably watching right now. So nice. If you could do my dad a huge favor, could you just say hi, Paul?
Hi, Paul. How you doing?
Hey, there you go.
Happy New Year, Paul.
Hey, that's fantastic. So, Gareth, we got a big spike on the markets. What are you looking at? And if you want to share your screen, you're welcome to do that. It's the share button at the bottom there.
Perfect.
Would love to see what you're thinking about today.
Let's take a look. So it's been a busy morning, as you guys are very, very aware. We got the markets doing their thing here on the back of the jobs data. So one of the things that I'm keeping an eye on here, guys, it looks like natural gas to me hit a major technical level. And so I actually like this as not only, I mean, maybe a day trade, but more so even as a swing trade. But what we can see here is see this little pivot going all the way back to October of 2020 and like basically kissed that. And then you also have this pivot low right here. And you have this incredible oversold scenario on natural gas. So to me, this is a technical bounce play. I actually just put out a trade signal to my crew to pick it up down here. And we're starting to see it bounce just a little bit. But the expectation would be that it would go back to this scene of the crime trend line here, which is around $5.30, give or take, which is a pretty hefty move on natural gas on a potential bounce. So that's kind of an exciting one. And then again, you know, I'm obviously keeping an eye on Tesla this morning. I mean, Tesla's getting hammered again after they cut prices on some of their vehicles, I think, in China.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, this is a tricky one, right? It is getting into some support. I'm basically looking for the 100 even number as the next level, where once it gets below there, you're going to get in this chop from July of 2020 before it kind of took off. So that's kind of a level there as well that I'm keeping an eye on. Let me just put a trend line in right around there here. Oops. And then obviously this is kind of my longer term target. I think eventually you get bounces on it at these levels, but this would be where I think finally you could potentially see a bottom on that. And then, man, what else to look at here? I mean, you know, if I'm a big fan of sympathy plays. Sympathy plays, I think, are a great way to go. So, like, if Tesla starts to bounce, I would right away look at Lucid and Rivian as potential sympathy plays.
Sure.
You know, they may lag a little bit, so you have a chance to kind of get in before a bigger move there. Let me see what else I'm looking at over here.
Do you have any thoughts on gold and what's your thoughts? I'd love to hear your thoughts on the spiders as well.
Yeah, so gold did hit some resistance in the last few days. It pulled back yesterday. It's having a beautiful pop back up. I've gone on record saying that I think 2023 is going to be a monster year on gold. In late 2021, I said that it would be the best performer between Bitcoin and the S&P. I think again this year that's going to be the case. So again, it's tricky right here, right? Because I mean, it's not like you're getting it at the dead lows anymore. It's already had a pretty significant rally. So for me, I have to wait for consolidation or a pullback or something that gives me that buy signal again. But overall, I think it's going to be an amazing performer. Now, one of the things I always like to mention to people is that the central banks all over the world are buying gold like crazy. And if they're doing it and they're the ones that have printed all this money, there's probably a reason why we should own some gold.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, they're the ones that print the money. Where's the trust in the own thing they're printing, you know? So,
exactly.
Yeah, big accumulation, especially in like China and Russia as well. So very, very interesting story there. And like, I would agree with you. You know, you've seen a big jump on gold. There may be some pullback plays. You've got that line marked around 1800. That big round number could be an interesting point to watch out for. So what about the spiders? What do you think on the S&P?
The S&P, I mean, this is so interesting because we had this you had the bearish flag coming into today, but you hadn't broken down yet, right? So you had the down move like this, very vertical drop. And then since then, we've been chopping in this kind of wedge pattern. And yesterday we closed right at the lows, but we didn't break it. And then all of a sudden, what happens today, we're shooting right back up. So watch kind of like 386. 386 to me would be a key level to watch on the SPY. If for some reason we get above that, then you probably retrace to this area right up here around 393, 394. Sure. But ultimately, you know, I'm bearish on the overall markets. I think you're going to get bounces like this when you have a little bit of good news or when the Fed throws you a bone. But, you know, to me, there's no way the Fed is going to print money again for at least another year, even if we slip into recession, which means that the direction of the market in general probably has to be down.
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, I tend to agree. You've got a lot of headway in front of us, especially but take your pick between the two. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on the dollar or Bitcoin. You just mentioned a little bit with the Fed. Of course, the dollar is like that reference, but then also Bitcoin has some pretty strong correlation, it seems, despite saying, you know, it was going to be this uncorrelated asset. It's had some serious struggle. What's your thoughts on the old BTC?
So like Bitcoin here, right? So the big thing is you have to look at the macro picture, and that really just refers to the bigger picture. So the bigger picture remains bearish, right? I mean, you have this big down move when FTX collapsed. This is basically an upsloping inside bar bear flag, if you will, in spirit of bear flag. The only thing is, in the very short term, you did break above this downsloping trend line a couple days ago right here. And so it does beg the question is, could we get a micro rally, like a pop through this line here? And that's really what I'm watching. It's right around 17,000, 16,900 and change. Yeah. But if we get through that, I actually think you could get somewhat of a little pop up, maybe to this area right here. And again, the reason why that's going to be so major resistance is it's this pivot top and it's also this down sloping trend line. So two major resistance levels are joining forces in that range. So it'd be hard for Bitcoin to get through there. But I'm actually, just in the short term here, I'm kind of bullish on Bitcoin. I think that one of the craziest things about crypto is this: during this bear market, we haven't seen rip your face off rallies in crypto, right? You saw it in the stock market all in 2022. I mean, there were probably 3 of them where it was just an incredible rally. In crypto, you haven't seen that. And that's unusual. And it makes me very wary that we could set up for something like that, where we get a big pop, just because, again, you almost have to lure bulls back in before you can smoke it down again.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. You've got to draw them back. You got to bring back the energy, because you're totally right. The S&P, the Dow, especially the Dow, they've had some really strong rallies within.
Like this one here, I mean, this was just an incredible one. This was just almost like every day for like almost a month. It was, the market was just grinding up and up and up. Yeah, and again, that's more normal to the beginning of a bear market, right? Where you still have the people that are willing to buy the dip, like, oh, we're going to go back to the bull market, no worries. And then in crypto, you've had nothing like that.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely interesting. And because, that the biggest struggle I've always mentioned with Bitcoin and crypto, in my opinion, is like, you've never really seen it in a incredibly hawkish Federal Reserve environment. In the past decade, it's had pretty much the incubator effect of super low interest rates and everything kind of in its favor. So it's got some headwind for sure. And I think the market sort of sniffs that out as well, where, every rally they're like, well, you would think that, just like similar to small caps, where a rally, small caps, you should probably see the pop. And I know my dad has mentioned you're big on there's the semis lead the rallies. He's heard you say that. He said that to me like 20 times. Yeah, and so you're not quite seeing the same effect with the Bitcoin, where you would think maybe it would show some similarities to something small cap related. I don't know.
And I think part of it too is like this: the crypto markets have just been slammed, whether it was Terra Luna collapsing or FTX. I mean, so there's this major loss of confidence in the crypto markets right now, and plus they're relatively unregulated, right? So there's institutional monies not really playing in the space right now until we get some regulation, and that probably keeps things from getting those bigger pops. But at some point, you would figure it would happen. I agree.
Yeah. Very, very interesting environment. What else? Anything else you're watching? So you mentioned that you've got the natural gas play. You've got your take on the S&P if it does rally. Is there a point that you would short the S&P or be interested in doing that? And if so, what would that look like?
Yeah. So basically, it would be, I'm going to look to, right now the charts, even though you have a bearish pattern, we're so far down here and we have support right down here that even if we broke down, I don't think I would be looking to short the bear flag breakdown. What I would be interested to do is, if for some reason we could rally through this resistance here and get up to this, that would be my spot. And the reason is because this was this kind of support, right? Where you hit here and then you went up here and down again and then up again. And then finally you broke down. And what that essentially would be is what I would call a retrace to the scene of the crime. So you would get this move back in, yet the bigger bear flag would still be intact there if you got there. So that would be the spot. So right around on the spiders, that's around 394, give or take. And I would start to short. Now, my method of shorting is I don't go all in on one spot. I basically kind of dip the toe in the water, do a little bit more in that range, and kind of feel it out just in case it goes higher than I expect. But that would be kind of my zone for where I would start shorting the S&P again.
Do you tend to pick out like say multiple levels where you would potentially pick up more when you size in? Is that like so your step one would be waiting for a pop up into the scene of the crime, from there potentially higher up around that 407 mark. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so I mean, this downsloping trend line has been. Let me just correct that a little bit there. This downsloping trend line has been a big one, so that could be an add level. And then once you got into like this pivot here at 408, and then maybe even there's a gap fill over here at around 418. So I mean, there's multiple levels as we go higher where it would be of interest. And then the other thing to kind of point out is that a lot of investors kind of look at the market and they're like, oh, but it broke the downsloping trend line. Isn't that a breakout, right? So this is a common kind of thing where, like, let's say it gets up here and people went, wow, it's a breakout. Oh my goodness. But what's interesting is that you'll notice that a lot of stocks and cryptos, that when they break a trend line like this, they end up coming back in. And because the trend line is sloping down, it gets lower and lower and lower. And ultimately it can go a lot lower. Like one of the stocks that this was a great example on was Alibaba, right?
Sure.
So if we look at Alibaba here, we could see very clearly you had this downsloping trend line right here, right? I mean, just a tremendous downsloping trend line. And you could see how it broke out, but then look what happened, you know?
It just hugs that trend line all the way down.
And so it actually made new 52-week lows, even though it broke. Now it's obviously starting to get some mojo to it, but it's just kind of a warning to investors that just because you break a trend line doesn't, especially a downsloping trend line, doesn't mean you can't come back in a little bit, and just to be wary of that.
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes sense. And been interesting to watch even just the Chinese stock market start out pretty strong, or at least the Chinese stocks trading on US exchanges. I've seen pretty much around the block seems pretty strong to start out.
Yeah, it's been incredible. And here's the Hang Seng chart, and you can see why it's stalling out here. If you connect these highs right here through this area, that's right into that resistance, this upsloping trend line where it's kind of stalling. It didn't really pull back much. And then look at all this confluence of resistance right up here, whether it's this trend line connecting through this flat top or this one down here, all of them kind of in that range. So what it tells us is that, yeah, you could get a little bit more upside on the Hang Seng, but it's going to run into some major resistance, probably between 22 and 23,000.
Yeah, good points all around, and definitely there with you on the stock market. I mean, you might get those pops, and we've seen some relatively strong bear market rallies. Could be something coming in the short term, but maintaining that overall picture, it still looks ugly for stocks. So, Gareth, thank you for coming on. Before I kick you out of here, where can people find you to follow you? I'm sure that you just made a bunch of new friends here. Where can they find you?
Twitter's the best place. At Gareth Soloway is my Twitter handle. And then if you're interested in stock trades and commodity trades, inthemoneystocks.com. And if you're interested in crypto trades, it's verifiedinvesting.crypto.com.
Very cool, guys. Go follow them on Twitter. Go find them on YouTube as well. They've got some good content that they put out there as well. Gareth, thank you again for coming on. It's been a pleasure, and we'll have to do it again.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and say hi to your dad for me.
I sure will. All right, Gareth. Thank you. Cool, guys. Yeah, always an honor to have Gareth tune in. He's you guys can see he is a certified, experienced pro when it comes to this stuff. Let me get my screen back here a little bit. So yeah, just a little bit of a follow up here before we end today's stream. Gareth went over a whole bunch of stuff. Like I said, worth following him. I've followed him for a number of years, and enjoyed a lot of the commentary that he's had throughout. So Euro USD trade looking pretty good here. $276 of profit on the table so far for this one. Do plan on holding this one. Of course, I have no take profit on this trade. For those of you guys who are within the group, like I said, if I trail stops, you'll see it in the Discord channel. And I would encourage you guys, come join us at a1trading.com, or you can just sign up using the link in the description if you want access to the trade alerts to stay up to date with what we are trading throughout the week. Currently, we took a long trade on the gold market, took a long trade on the S&P, and a short trade on the euro. So looking real good here. All three trades in profit today. So there you go. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Welcome to the new followers, and I appreciate you being here. We'll be doing this back again on Monday. So thanks for tuning in. See you guys later.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And remember to check the description below if you're looking for a new broker or looking for a trading community to join. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.